whatever. And so that's what's being called of us, guys. Keep posting, keep sharing resources, educating ourselves. Brianna has been a part of anti-racism for 18 years of her life. She's very educated. She's going to be sharing a lot of resources. I have some resources we'll be sending out to you. Maybe you can look on here so we can share a couple in the feed. So
share Melissa's resource document.
Yeah, and then also Brianna posted one too, anti-racism. I think it's antiracism.com, bit.ly/anti-racism. If somebody wants to type that in the chat and click it and see if that's what it is, it's a resource that Brianna has shared.
Where would I find that?
Go into our feed and find the one that Melissa shared, and then keep going and look for the one Brianna shared. And so that's what we're asking right now. What they're asking is for us to be educating. What they're asking for us is to name people. Name the leaders you look up to that aren't vocal about this. Name not just one post, guys, of going, I'm so sad this is happening. I don't know what it feels like. That is not a significant voice of change. It's a great start, but it's not what they're asking for us right now. They're asking for the leaders to step into leadership and educate their communities. They're asking for leaders to share resources. They're asking for leaders to get on the front lines and stand in front of them. Protect them. Demand the senators. Demand the police. This man should have been arrested with first-degree murder. He's gotten third-degree murder. And manslaughter charge. He's going to get off until we get louder. The riots will not stop until justice is served. So we can sit back and pray ourselves through it, or we can do both. We can pray and we can get into action. And so that's my call for you guys. That's my invitation, is where in your life can you educate yourself? Because I will tell you right now, I'm learning too. I have said all lives matter. I've said that. I've said I don't see color. I've said that. And that's not acceptable. That's not what they need from us right now. They are the people of the hour. Not people of color, Black people. And I am half Mexican and I'm Native American and a bunch of other things. But I am not on the line right now. They're not murdering Native Americans in broad daylight in front of the world to watch. Black people are terrified to be outside right now. It's not. 2 little boys were tasered and yanked out of their car last night in Los Angeles. Okay? Young teenagers who definitely don't watch CNN to get the memo that there was a curfew that got instated like an hour before it got instated. If that was me and Emily in the car, you think they would have pulled our asses out?
Nope.
You think they would have tased us and kept tasing us and dragged us out of cars? Absolutely not. And if anybody thinks that, I invite you to think twice. So that's what's at stake here, guys. And they're asking us to not be tempered in our posts. They're asking us to mess up. They're asking us to just use our voices and knowing we can't get it right. Right? They just want the effort. And it's not a check the box. I posted once his pay justice for Floyd and I'm out. We need you opening the minds of your communities. I posted a beautiful post on Instagram today highlighting what's going on in West Hollywood at Starbucks, how this white presenting woman, anyone who's not white is white presenting that could pass as white, started spray painting the wall in Starbucks by my old neighborhood. And these African-American girls said, please stop doing that. And they didn't respect them. They didn't acknowledge them. And they're writing Black Lives Matter in black spray paint. And they're like, they're going to blame us. Don't you see? The news is going to come take pictures and they're going to say, look what the Black people did. Look at what the animals are doing. We have friends that are leading peaceful protests downtown. They're not showing that. They're going up to people and asking them to stop rioting. And most of the rioters are white. And they've been implanted and they're throwing things and they're vandalizing and they're creating fires to make it look like, look at these animals. And this is the narrative that we got to stop, guys. So our invitation is to share these stories, share these posts. You can find them in my feed. You can find them in Layla F. Saad's feed, or you put some links in there.
Yeah.
And stay out of their DMs. That's also what they're asking. Please stay out of their DMs. They don't want you to say, look what I did, and please teach me this, and how can I help? Do your own research. They are busy right now. These guys have been in the front lines for years and years and years. They don't need another arrogant white person coming in trying to be a savior. They need us to educate ourselves, know how we've been a part of the problem, know how we can fix it, and to spread the message. That's what they need. All right.
Maybe share the distinction of racism and anti-racism.
And I'm learning all this stuff right along with you guys. And I promise you, I don't know what I'm doing. And I'm nervous too, but I'm okay with being uncomfortable. All of us are, right? We've got all these girlfriends sending posts back and forth. They're huge influencers with thousands of views, hundreds of thousands of people going, is this okay? Is this okay? Like everybody's really in that right now. And that's okay. All right. So Emily's going to share a distinction and then we're going to do a prayer.
Hi, beautiful people. This is what we're doing up here right now. Something that really landed for me, and again, just reiterating, like we're so imperfect in all of this, and it's such an education piece, and it's scary every time we call someone out or we ask for something better. We're all experiencing like, oh my God, I just did this. Can you read this post? You know, and we're really having each other's back in that. So even maybe, you know, people on this call, you could like rally together and have a little crew, or in your own community, like a really great action step is to have other people that you can be in this conversation with, to learn and to be able to share these ideas back and forth and get feedback and grow together. And there are a lot of amazing resources in there, but the distinction that I wanted to share that I wasn't aware of is the distinction between racism and anti-racism. And I think that what we think that we think a lot of us, we think we're not racist because we don't outwardly aggress against people that are different to us, or we don't associate to being a white supremacist or, you know, consciously oppressing people. But the difference that I've really found and been educated by these people is, and through this education, is the difference between racism and anti-racism. If we are not anti-racist, which means taking action, which means being in the uncomfortable conversations. And I was in a super uncomfortable conversation yesterday with a male friend of mine in a position of privilege that a week ago, I probably wouldn't have pushed back the way that I did. And it was uncomfortable. But those are the spaces and the places that we can start to be about the difference and push into this discomfort to say, yes, and I hear what you're saying, but that's because of the position of privilege that you have, and slowly opening up people's ideas to this position of privilege and how that is impacting. Because when people don't see the privilege, what they then see is that Black people or marginalized people should be doing better, because they don't see that what they've created is from a position of their privilege. So really having these conversations. So if we may not associate as being racist, but if we are not taking the action and we are not actively fighting and making a stand for anti-racism, right, then we are essentially racist by default. And that was really powerful for me to land in, and I think is a really beautiful distinction, because if we are not being part of the solution, we are a part of the problem. And that's a really uncomfortable thing to look at, but it's something that's really powerful for all of us to identify. If we're not a part of really making sure we are not anti-racism, then we are racist by default.
Yes. Sorry, I'm posting this so our other brothers and sisters are asking how they could get on.
Oh yeah, we need to admit people on here.
Yeah, please admit people.
But I think the biggest thing is just like is all of us having the willingness to be imperfect in this conversation. None of us know how to get it right. How did we learn that they don't want us to hear about our sadness? By writing about our sadness and then realizing and reading and seeing, oh shit, she's saying they don't want to hear about my sadness. So the next time I'm not talking about me. And then we help educating our sisters when they're messaging our posts, and we say, actually what we've seen and what we've learned is they don't want to hear about us. So maybe take this bit out. So then that's what we're all doing, is sharing our resources of how we can all educate ourselves better and become and step into this advocate role and this anti-racist role, because we're sharing the resources like in this call now and finding out what really works and how to be more sensitive, but also knowing, just like any of you guys, if you're in business or if you've tried anything for the first time, you know, when you ride a bike, you fall off the first time, right? Yeah. Just like anything, this is no different. We can't expect ourselves to be good at something we've never been exposed to. And so we're all learning this together. And so giving ourselves the grace to do that, and giving ourselves the grace to push up against what this discomfort, because it is fucking uncomfortable. Yeah, it is uncomfortable. And we're all experiencing that. But it's also just thinking like, this is just the minutia, not even on the scale of the levels of oppression and marginalization that, and we're talking about Blacks right now because this is the conversation that we're in, and this is the country that we're living in, and these are the original people. Yeah. But we're also very sensitive to the fact that this is a wider conversation, and we're not being ignorant to that, but we are choosing consciously to focus right now on the African American and the Black conversation.
And using the word Black, because I was using people of color, and that also I learned from Layla F. Assad, that FSOD, that is not acceptable when you're talking about Black people to say people of color. And I didn't know that. Right. So there's a lot of things we're learning. Sorry, I just want to interject.
No, totally. Well, even I was having a conversation with Sienna, our friend who's going to be on here shortly, amazing woman. But we were having that conversation in the car yesterday, and she was like, I didn't know that either. So there's different, there is, and again, so this is how we learn, but it's being willing to say the uncomfortable thing and then learn from our experience, because imperfect action as in any capacity is always better than silence, and is always better than sitting on the idea and never launching it. And it's better than sitting waiting for the perfect post and never posting it, and a lot of people are saying, I'm overwhelmed and I don't know what to share.
Right.
It's like, but it's we're all overwhelmed, and it's like, this is the moment that we have to get over that and get past that and say something, some action, some conversation, and it is even like in the conversations with asking people, what do you think about what's going on in the world right now, and opening that conversation up in your community and being in the position where you can say, what is your thoughts on privilege? And being like that's probably the most uncomfortable conversations, especially if you're having them with people that do have privilege and they don't
I was that person. I honestly did not understand the white privilege thing. I was like, look, I grew up on welfare and my dad's Hispanic, and, we lived in the ghetto and all the things. Like, well, my dad lived in the ghetto. I didn't live in the ghetto, but I didn't understand that concept until now. I was like anti that conversation, and I'm being so honest with you guys. And that's okay. If you're like, I'm not white privileged. This woman literally wrote on my feed, like, the richest people in America are Black, she said. And I was like, oh my God.
And it's ignorance and miseducation.
And it's okay. And someone was probably like, oh my God, when I didn't believe that I don't see color. And I fought this woman on that. She reached out to me because I posted about Epic, because we go to Africa, to Tanzania, to build clean water wells for Alexi's nonprofit, these beautiful, amazing family in Tanzania. And this girl was like, beat me up because I posted pictures of the kids and called me white privileged and just like lit me up. And maybe she was coming a little hot, and that's probably why I retaliated the way I did. But I didn't even want to open the conversation. I was like, don't you dare, make me wrong. And she came because she made me wrong for posting about these beautiful little kids that I love and this family we love in Tanzania. And so I was like, I don't see color, was my rebuttal. And I'm realizing that is not acceptable. It is not acceptable to say that, because guess what? The world sees color.
Yeah. It was even just like, so earlier today, the national, it's like the national security advisor for Trump basically said that there is no systemic racism in the police force. And when I was chatting with Sienna, what that lacked is just ownership of the issue. It's not even just saying that there is a systemic racism in the police force. The truth of the matter is there's systemic racism in the globe, everywhere.
Yes.
So it's not about saying it's the police force that is wrong. The police
force is wrong.
That's also the conversation that is being, I think, misled a little bit now. What the riots, this conversation right now, it is not just about George Floyd.
No.
He was simply the friggin' one
sacrificial lamb, bless his heart, rest in power.
Back. Yeah.
Because he's an earth angel. He's an earth angel that came to this planet to sacrifice his life to create a conversation. And it's disgusting and horrible that had to be the case. But God, what a way to go. Freaking what a way to go out. What a leader. What a light worker. What a beautiful, beautiful human being to sacrifice and come in as a king, right? To this lifetime and be the voice of change, the catalyst. But Talib Kweli posted, and I posted in my story, it's just like saying like all lives matter is like saying all houses are burning. Because all houses are not burning right now, right? This is about the Black lives right now. And that's who we get to be a stand for. And so I love all of you, and I'm grateful for all of you and your commitment to the light, your commitment for being here, your commitment for your connection to spirit. And we're asking you to utilize your throat chakra now. We are asking you to use your voices and your prayers. Keep your prayers up, keep your love and light up, and also use your voice, period, because that's what's required. And so if you guys don't know what to share, use these resources. Share about Colors of Change, share about Black Lives Matter, share about Shaun King, share about Layla F. Saad, share about these leaders that are on the front lines of this issue that have been and know this stuff and can share more powerfully and articulately than we are. This is not about being the white saviors. This is not about being the white presenting saviors, right? This is about us having the backs of our Black African American brothers and sisters who need us. They need us to magnify and fan their flame. They don't need us to reinvent the wheel. And we're also seeing it too with the cops thing. You know, Gladys lovingly called me forward in my Instagram with her and said, I was like, look, not all cops are bad, because I know there's probably a couple, probably 1% of the policemen out there that were like, I'm going to change the world. I'm going to make a difference. Right. And they joined this thing and they're like, shit, you know, this is corrupt. Right. And I know that there's probably a lot. And guess what? There's probably more racist cops than non-racist cops, because they have unresolved anger from their childhoods and they're taking it out on people. And that environment provokes that is okay. You know, and there
Plus,
gets to be better systems.
PTSD from the trauma that they face on the front lines all the time, which only then, you know,
perpetuates
the violence and the unresolved. You know, it's like people that go away to war, and something I was just saying to Amber today that kind of landed for me, because a lot of pushback is about they should be handling this differently, and I know you kind of mentioned it.
Yeah, if we cannot say anymore that they cannot
that they should be handling it differently, that it should be peaceful, and like as it's already been covered, and really hearing these Black activists speak about this, it's like they've tried all of that. And also, firstly, the reason why people are in this country, in any country, is because the British colonized, you know, and I'm not a historian, so I don't know enough, but it's like white people have raped and pillaged long before Black people have. And also, why do people condone America, white American military, invading other countries and killing mothers and children and civilians? And why do we not say that they should be handling that differently? Why
shouldn't be violent.
How is this different? But we condone that because people make money of selling arms to other countries, and it's global domination, and it's white suppression. It's white walking into other countries, invading, bombing, killing civilians. But we say that that's okay, and we march for our heroes, which I'm not taking that away, and I'm not American. But it's like, why is that? Why are we seeing that differently to a culturally, for generations, centuries upon centuries, the original people of this land being oppressed and suppressed, and they are now rising up in a way that has also been infiltrated by white people to make it look worse than it is, and they're trying to be peaceful, and we now have a problem with that. How is that different?
It's hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy.
It's the
and
system.
I also want to say most of the people in LA that are rioting are white. And we've seen the videos because our friends have been out there.
They're looting.
They're looting. The majority of the people looting are white. And the majority of people that are spray painting are white. The majority of the people that are lighting fires are white. Guys, white. The Black people are like, we need to be chill for the most part. They're going around telling the white people to stop rioting. We've seen videos.
Yeah.
So that is the society that's created when a Black man gets on the bus, you grab your purse. That society that's created when Preston shared when he's walking down the street, that people walk to the other side. This is the same system when a Black person goes into a fancy store, they're followed around by security.
Mm-hmm.
This is a systematic problem. And this is the same problem that has our African American brothers in prisons. Mm-hmm. You guys have never seen the movie 13? You got to watch it. 13th. It's a Netflix documentary. I invite you to watch it.
Another one is 12 Years a Slave, or 21 Years a Slave. I think it's 12 Years a Slave. That was another one that was shared too. Again, just to grasp the depth of the enormity of
just layers to this.
The layers.
So yes, George Floyd, top of the iceberg. What we're taught in schools. We're celebrating Christopher Columbus Day. Are you fucking kidding me? He was a raper and a slave trader. And we celebrate him. We've never given the African American community a my bad. We're fucking sorry. They've never got a public apology. That's wrong. But we steal their weaves and we steal their freaking twerking and we listen to 50 Cent and we bump Tupac and we fucking do our whole fucking thing and we steal their culture. We steal their Kentucky Fried Chicken. It's not a Black man on there. It's fucking Colonel Sanders. But we ain't gonna fight for them. Come on in, girl. Perfect timing. We ain't gonna fight for them. We ain't gonna fight for them. But we can steal their music and steal their culture and steal their chicken. But we can't fight for them. So that's what this is about, light workers. This is what it's about. It is love, light, and using our voice and getting in action. I'm not saying you need to scream and cuss like me. I'm not saying you need to do it the Amber way. Okay, that's my way, right? You guys know me. I'm all about love and light, freaking plant medicine, crystals, pray, chant, drum, all of it. I am a medicine woman, and I'm also a warrior. And I'm a warrior first. That's who I am. And your way doesn't have to be screaming at your phone. My way changes. But we're just asking you to have a way. Because I see every post I post, people go, wow, I didn't recognize that. Thank you. I didn't see that. Thank you. If we can change one person's perspective, that's where it starts. So I want to let you know what I'm committed to, and I want to introduce my sister Sienna to you. And if she feels like singing and praying, we will. We haven't prayed at all. This has turned into a forum of a channel of a rally cry.
I love you. I heard you.
I love you. I'm fucking screaming at Tony Robbins. And I mean, I invite us to get louder. I've called out Lewis Hayes. I've called Lewis Howes. I've called out literally in a DM thread who made me bad or wrong and shamed me. And said, I did it. I did an Instagram post. Marie Folio, I did a post in Instagram. It ain't enough. You take millions of dollars from people every day and you claim to be a leader and you get to do more.
Yeah, and it's bigger than the surface. It's bigger than black and white. This is shadow work. And
Yes.
In the conscious community, we have avoided shadow work. We pretend as if everything is light and as if dark doesn't matter. The reality is, in the beginning, it was void. The void is the darkness. The void is the inner work. The void is what all of us have been called to sit in when we were in quarantine. We were doing shadow work. So this is a bigger game. We, people of color, don't want to be scapegoats anymore for everyone else's shadow work. It's time for us to go inward and actually do the work. So what that looks like is calling people forward, because we do need the voices now, because it's not all love and light and just love through it. No, that's not how the universe was created, guys. I'm sorry. It was a big bang. It was a big bang, okay? The supernova explodes to create more universes. So if you're really about this life, if you really are a light worker, then you need to find balance between your shadow and your light. Because that is the middle
The alchemy
passage. That is the frequency that we need to be in to be balanced. And when we are balanced, we are actually gods in the flesh. We can't keep being false prophets. Trade in your prophet card. If you're going to be real with it. You experience anger. Anger is the same vibration of love and passion, right? All of us were created from two individuals coming together, whether that was through science, whether that was through natural ways of being, whatever. It was two polar opposites coming together as one to create new life. So now it's time for the polarities to come together, for the black and the whites to come together,
the light and the dark,
the light and the dark to come together to create a new now, to create a new earth, to create a new way where we're not being oppressed anymore. Because guys, this isn't a color war. We've all been oppressed in this. Every last one of us. They just wanted you to think that you were winning. The reality is you're in bondage. So if you want to set yourself free, align with the cause right now, because this is not about color. This is about freedom. This is about love. This is about us dismantling the system that has been put in place
leaving people
for
behind
us to be stuck.
And in the third dimension, y'all for the new earth, y'all for 5D life, guess what? We're making our way through the fourth, through our throat, into our fifth.
That's it.
This is ascension. Welcome.
That's it.
And it ain't fucking pretty. And a lot of people are going to die. Sorry to fucking burst your bubble. That has to happen. history. Tell them about what happened 99 years ago. You saw what Ari posted, the massacre and
Yep.
and
The massacre
Tulsa.
where they came and they just broke everything down. White people came into our neighborhoods where we
In
built
Tulsa.
ourselves up and just burned everything down.
99 years ago today. History was repeating itself. Tell them also about 1865.
Yes, so 1865, Juneteenth, that was when we were liberated, our freedom.
Black
Once
people.
again, we're back here.
June 19th.
June 19th, Juneteenth, research it, look it up.
1865.
Okay?
Right?
Yes, 1865, Juneteenth. Look it up. This has been happening. So when people ask, why are you
The
guys so
stars are
angry?
aligned.
Right? Why are you breaking things down? Like
There's
these things
no
are
white-
put in place
there's
for
no
you.
white
I'm
privilege.
tired of playing in other people's playhouse. I didn't build these buildings. That didn't come from my consciousness. That came from another man's consciousness. And frankly, the way that they designed it, that's not how I operate. The way my culture operates is we sing, we dance around the fire. We
Yep.
alchemize the earth.
And we've
You
been
know why? Because we
stealing-
communicate with earth.
stealing
Yes.
your teachings.
So you don't get to just say, oh, okay, yeah, now I love Adele because, you know, she sings black. All right, that's great. But like, what about the people that actually
I
deserve
love
to be
twerk.
recognized
I love
for that?
twerking, but like, where did it come from?
Bigger lips, bigger butts,
Yeah.
bigger everything.
Kardashians.
For what? To erase us?
Nails, braids, all of it.
To erase us? It's not like you're going to our
Big hoops,
communities.
all of it.
doing
Stealing
squats.
fashion.
You're not coming to our communities doing squats.
Gucci did a whole fucking campaign. It's all African American print. The women I go, the mamas, they make these beautiful dresses and skirts. It's like the whole Gucci
Yes.
Paul line. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? This is African American prints.
And that's another thing. This whole term African American, that was placed upon
Actually,
us.
those are African prints because
so
those
that-
actually come from Africa.
Yes. Not all people of
That's where I
color
bought the
are
fucking
from
fabric.
Africa, guys. There were native slaves that they stole, okay? They stole from the Cherokee tribe, the Navajo, black like me. Natives are black. We were here before slavery. They stole us from our home and then separated the tribes and then told us you're all African American so that when you decide to be conscious, you'll all leave the promised land and go back to Africa. The reality is, yes, some of us are African
Mm-hmm.
who were brought here as slaves, and some of us are Americans.
Native
Native Americans,
First
black
generation.
people, the people of the earth, okay? When you look at the dirt, what color is it? It's copper, it's brown. What does that remind you of? Skin color.
Mama
What
Gaia.
skin color does that remind you of? When you look at DNA, whose hair looks like the DNA strand? Please tell me, guys. Please tell me who the original people are. And it is okay to admit that. Because guess what? The way our culture is designed, we welcome everyone in. We actually want you to sit at our table and eat with us. You go to Big Mama's house, she's feeding everyone from the pot.
Yeah.
We don't need you to steal from us. We want to welcome you in, but we're tired of being told we're the minority when we are the dominant gene, period. So just
And
acknowledge
you're being
it.
murdered because your skin is the color it is. And we all know. What up, Little John? I love you. Listen, it needs to stop. It gets to stop. No longer do people need to be murdered because of their color of their skin. Because again, I wouldn't have been pulled out of that car last night. I wouldn't have been tased. I would have played the fucking dumb chick white presenting card and I would have been
Yep,
just fine.
she would have been fine.
They wouldn't have
I wouldn't
dragged
have.
my ass. She would have been dragged out,
Yep, I would
but I
have.
wouldn't have been dragged out.
Because, you know, I'm an angry black woman. If I have passion, that's labeled angry black woman. But how about that passion is the same thing you guys love when you listen to our music?
Yep. We love rap music.
It's the same thing.
We love twerking. We love all of it. But yet, oh, you can't go to school here. You can't this here. You can't that here. So you guys, this is levels of deep.
So every time you sipped an ayahuasca cup, that dark brown earth, every time you took that in and you went on a medicine journey, please know you took in our ancestors. So I would like for you to respect that as well. And be one in the third dimensional plane. Because you got a lot of secrets, didn't you, when you sat in your Aya ceremony? If you ever experienced that, light workers. You saw we were all connected, right? So you're supposed to take that, stop being light junkies, 10,000 freaking ayahuasca ceremonies to go back to knowing something that you already know because it was already told to you, and take that information and then see the oneness in the people that looks like the medicine you were drinking.
So yes, they're angry and they get to be angry and we get to let them be angry. We don't get to make people bad or wrong for being angry. We don't know what it's like. We do not know what it's like to walk outside and have people grab their purses. We do not know what it's like to be broken up with because you're Black and your white family says you can't date them. We don't know what it's like, guys. And we got to stop pretending, and we got to stop saying that this shit does not exist. I just watched a video that a white cop threw up the white supremacy sign. Okay? So that's happening. So pretending like it does in our community, and look, I'm the first one that's like, fuck, damn, this shit's still going on, right? Because I'm surrounded by all you guys. I'm surrounded by love, light, let's go. I'm surrounded by like, I see you, you see me, we look in each other's eyes and we feel each other's hearts. I get that a lot of us have done the work to do our, to unlearn a lot. Okay. And I'm not discrediting the work any of us have done because we're definitely far along than many of these cats.
Yes.
All right. But we also got to know that that puts us in incredible power of leadership. That puts us in a powerful place that we do believe that everybody is one. And therefore we got to fight for the ones that are being left behind right now.
Please.
That's what this is about.
Please.
You are the leaders that can move the needle in your family, in your jobs, in your relationships. Be willing to quit the job of a fucking person that is a racist.
Please.
Be willing to not speak to your family if they use the N word.
Please.
Be willing to say no to these racial jokes. I don't condone that.
Please.
Be willing to be the loving interruption.
Please.
That is leadership.
Please.
And that's what we're asking from the people who have the power to move the needle more than anyone else, because you see souls.
Please.
I know it's easy to say I don't see color. I fucking get that. And they don't appreciate it.
We need you to see color. We need you to see it so brightly that you see yourself in it. We need you to see color. We need you to see it so brightly so that you see yourself in it. Please see color. Color is beautiful. Color is the whole spectrum. You mix all the colors together. What color does it make, guys? It's the whole spectrum. That's yourself, actually. It's yourself. It's who you are. We are one with you. But we need you to align with us right now, because we've been aligning with y'all system. Our natural garbs don't look like this Nike shirt I got on. This is European made, guys. Come on, we've been aligning. We created chemicals to straighten our hair to align with you guys. We created products to bleach our skin to align with you guys.
So fucked up.
We changed our culture. We gave up our original gods to be aligned with you guys. And we need you to align with us now. We've been aligning with you. We work in your corporations. We work in your jobs. We build your homes. We take care of your kids. We feed them. How many nannies do you know that are people of color? We've been aligning with you guys. We need you to align with us now.
So what does that look like? What can we do? What's the best thing we can do right now? We got the compassion piece down.
Yeah.
Lightworkers already know about compassion. Check. Check. But what can we do? What can we do tangibly? Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing your heart. I love you so much.
It's just releasing judgment. Just releasing judgment. We are one, guys. We really are. And I know you guys know it.
I know it.
You know? I know you know it. We're one. We are. It's like we don't want it to be one-sided,
Yeah.
right? It's like we are one, you know? It's just I feel like our community has proven over and over and over again that we're down to be one with y'all. Like literally when segregation was going on, we were fighting to be with you
In
guys.
schools.
You know, like we were fighting to be with you guys. So now we just need you to align with us, fight to be with us. But you won't be able to do that if we're all dead. If when shit hits the fan and they're shooting us, if you guys aren't standing with us, we won't be here anymore. And then what does that look like? Because we're done, actually. This isn't like before. History repeats itself, but this time we're actually willing to die for our freedom. We're willing to die for our freedom. So the real question is how many of us is going to have to die before everyone aligns and realizes this is a human issue. This is not a color issue. This is humanity. We have to get back to the roots of our soul. Love. That's the vehicle.
Family.
Love. That's the vehicle.
We're going to have to force it down people's throats.
Yeah.
And the way we do that is by people dying. Look at George. He's a fucking earth angel.
So it looks like there's 5 minutes?
Yeah, 5 to 12. There's like 11, 15 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. You want to open for shares? I'm going to close with a song. I
mean, we can share if you guys want to share. We've never done shares before, but I would be down to open it up because this isn't a prayer circle. Usually we pray and chant and meditate, and I felt like this was most alive and we needed to honor the conversation. And I think that we appreciate you guys hearing and listening, and we appreciate you guys witnessing and giving, Sienna the opportunity to be heard, because that's what this really is about, is letting everybody feel however they want to feel. And not make their version of grief and anger wrong or bad, whether it's looting, whether it's writing, whether it's crying, whether it's screaming, whether it's whatever it is. Just we got to stop trying to tell people how to feel and how to act. And that's the problem. The human experience is all things. And that's what we usually work on in this circle, is that everything is welcome here. And so thank you all for being here and witnessing, because I know this was I don't know, but I'm assuming this was probably very healing for you to just be heard.
Yeah. it felt good.
Would anyone like to share? They want to say a prayer, yeah?
Yes, please, yeah.
Would you want to lead it?
Sure.
So tell them what you're up to in the world real quick, just so they can have some context.
So what I'm up to in the world is I am an initiated priestess of Ifa. I do workshops. I do spiritual healing ceremonies. I'm a shamanistic songstress. So I channel the divine to create healing sounds and frequencies that pierce through the walls of the human. And I am a UV light worker.
Ooh.
I'm a UV light worker, the black light worker. Right? Fluorescent light is beautiful. It looks nice, but guess what? On a murder scene, you don't see the blood until you turn the lights off and you come in with the black light. Wow. So I'm a UV light worker.
Wow, I love that. What's your IV name?
My IG name is Being Sienna. So it's Being Xiana.
All right. So I think you should, if you desire, to lead us through prayer and song, and we will enjoy.
Yes.
What a gift. We get to have a song priestess come in here and light our souls up and pray. Unless there's anything anybody would like to share. We don't want to disrespect anyone if anyone has something they want to share that's alive on their hearts. We want to give you the space. Unmute your phone if so. Let's take a couple beats. Okay. I think they're
Yeah.
speechless. All right.
Okay.
They want to sing.
Okay.
Or they want to let you sing.
All right. So if you could just close your eyes. Just feel into your body. Feel into your breath. And normally, whenever I open with prayer, I ask us to control our breath, right? So I say breathe in and breathe out. But this time I don't want to do that. Reason being is because this is not the time to be in control. This is the time to accept what we have, to trust the source within us, to trust our normal breathing patterns, whatever that may be, to trust our choices, to trust our choices. So today, we choose the power of now. In this moment, we choose to be one. In this moment, we choose to accept both light and dark. In this moment, we choose to be the middle dwellers, the ones that look through the veil to find truth. So as we are taking this journey together, we choose love. We choose the heartbeat, and we listen to the rhythm, remembering the drums, remembering the hands that brought the drums to us. And then we listen in, we tune in to the flow of our blood, remembering the river, remembering the sweet waters, remembering Oshun, the Orisha of the river, remembering those who built the canals, the Hohokam, those who taught the Navajo Nation how to build these pyramids and these structures. We remember all beings that came before us, the OGs, the original gods. We call them forth now, ushering them in, allowing them to take their rightful seat on the throne that they built. So as a collective, we choose to breathe in through our nose, and we hold it the way that we will hold our stance when we are in protest with our brothers and sisters. And we hold it, and we hold it, and we hold it, and we hold it until it feels uncomfortable, until we say, we cannot breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. Remembering George Floyd. And then we release. Remembering that we still have breath and we still have the choice to breathe. Understanding that that moment that we just chose to take together is the moment that we're going to continue to choose as we are in the Civil War. Seeing our brothers and sisters in every last person that is there. There is no enemy. The structure must fall. So we release judgment and understand that as things are burning down, that is the flame that is alchemizing the energetic field that will liberate all people. And where we will reside is freedom. We choose freedom. We choose love. 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 We choose freedom. We choose love.
We choose
Freedom.
freedom. We choose love.
Who can see me now? Who Who can see me now? Darker the berry, sweeter the juice. Darker the journey, sweeter the truth. Who can see me now? No longer afraid of darkness, understanding that is the journey to our freedom. Ashe. Bringing yourself back into the space. And when you feel ready, you can open your eyes. But before you open your eyes, know that when you open your eyes, you are choosing to see yourself in every last human being, especially the original people.
Mm. Thank you so much, sister.
Thank you.
And as you guys all know how to do so well, everybody rub their hands together and blast my sister. Oh, no, you get to receive. Blast our sister, Sienna, with so much love and gratitude and courage and prosperity and joy and passion and leadership to lead in a way that she's never led before, stepping up into an even bigger game. Feeling the wings expand and all of our love, lifting her wings up. Ooh, my hands are hot, y'all. Ooh.
So much gratitude. Wow.
Yeah, they're powerful. If you can, take your phone off of, let's see your faces, if you guys, so she can look at all your faces and receive your love, receive your chi. If you can turn your phones off and just give her some love, blast
Thank you,
her heart.
Vanessa.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's get over so you can see these guys. So you can see Kristen over there.
Thank you.
Francisco.
Thank you.
Amber. Oh, so good. Thank you all so much for being here. We just want to call in our guides, our angels, our happy ancestors, all of our deities and spiritual guides that support us every single day, our unseen team. We just ask that they surround each and every one of you with courage.
Yes.
We demand, we affirm and declare that our throat chakras be activated and opened more than ever before. We pray for the courage. We pray for the protection. We pray for the ability to take risks, to left nothing unsaid, to realize that we are on the front lines of spiritual warfare, a civil war, and a revolution. And the light leaders are the ones that get to be in leadership because they get it. So our voices get to be louder. So we pray for all of us as we go through our own version of shadow work. And as we learn to educate ourselves, to have compassion for others and ourselves as we fall like the deers learning to walk for the first time, that we're less concerned about getting it wrong and we're more committed to doing what's right.
Yes.
So let's pick up our swords and our hearts and let's march on arm in arm. And let's be very, very vocal about what side we are on.
Yes.
Which is the side of one family.
Yes.
Which is the side of all having all freedom.
Yes.
Where no one is left behind. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We believe, we believe, we believe. We affirm and declare and demand ascension.
Yes.
We affirm and demand and declare equality for all.
Yes.
We affirm and declare and demand safety for our Black brothers and sisters.
Yes.
We affirm and declare and demand prosperity for all beings.
Yes.
Love for all beings.
Yes.
Equality for all beings.
Yes.
That no one is left behind.
Yes.
That is the vision that we declare and demand that we will see into existence for our children, our great-grandchildren, and all those that come after us. And it starts with us.
Yes.
So thank you, Great Spirit.
Thank you.
Thank you to our ancestors, our guides. Thank you to the north, south, east, and west, the directions, the two-legged, the four-legged, the creepy crawly, the winged ones, the finned ones that are all the elementals, the fairies, the mermaids, all that are with us. Oshun,
Yes.
thank you. They're all cheering us on. We are not alone. We are not in this alone. And we get to make sure that our Black brothers and sisters know they are not alone. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Aho, amen, Ashan, so it is, Ashe.
So it is. Ashe.
Thank you all for
Thank you.
being here. We'll be sending out the replay, and please stay tuned to Sienna's page, my page, and we will continue to share resources with you. We've got some things in the works, so we can't wait to extend the invitation for you guys to join us. And thank you for receiving this transmission. Your smiles and your hearts mean so much to us. And let's also send a prayer out for Bear and Brianna, that they may find peace in their hearts during this time. And may Bear's grandma walk with the angels and walk with the light as she makes it into her next phase of her soul's assignment and existence. And may her life be celebrated, her human walk this lifetime being celebrated. Know that we never die. Our bodies die, but our souls are infinite, as we are immortal.
Yes.
So just sending our brother Bear and Brianna with so much love and healing and peace in their hearts as they grieve during their grieving journey. Thank you, guys. Love you so much. We'll see you next week. 111. Love you all. Bye.
We love you guys too.